Mark Erickson T. Angeles, 21.
Joyce Andy Bargan, 20.
Micah Del Rosario, and I am 28.
Manric Tan Pascual, 37 years old.
Stock market ay isang grupo ng mga marketers.
I have no idea.
Na naghahanap ng investors.
So people buy and invest stocks of companies.
In order to have a share in the company and thereby earn money.
Tama yung sagot namin? Inamin namin.
There's stocks and people buy and sell, and there's a big room where people are yelling about prices and stuff, and basically it's very chaotic, is what I think.
Pwede ka mag-start
500.
1,000 to 1 million
20,000.
para maging 2 million, 3 million, 4 million,
Guess lang at least 10,000.
5 million, 6 million.
Would I be willing to invest?
No.
Ano yung reasons kung bakit hindi kayo mag-invest?
Kasi hindi pa namin kilala yung stock market.
Ang baka, syempre,
Naka-scam.
Oo, scam.
Kasi I don't do something I don't understand.
If I ever was to get involved in the stock market, it would be because I could afford it, and I don't think that's the case at the moment.
Perhaps you can see yourselves in any one of the people in the video. Maybe you have the same answers as they have. Maybe you have those same questions in your head right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's PISO Jumpstart session, presented to you by Corp Capital Equities Corporation and Philstocks.ph, where we hope to give you a clear picture of what the stock market is all about and how you can make it work for you. My name is Kirby and I am your facilitator for this session. Right now, you may be wondering what this is all about. We are all here for different reasons. Maybe you're here because you want to be able to buy one of the latest gadgets available. You may be here because you'd now like to get your hands on that dream car that you've been dreaming about for so long. Or maybe because you are saving up to be able to put that dream house of yours. You may also want to secure your children's future, and maybe your own future too. Whatever your reason may be, we all want one thing. We all want the best out of life. We want to be successful and stable. We want to spend more time with our friends and loved ones and less time worrying about bills and payment deadlines. We want to have greater financial security, saving up for tomorrow and not just living from paycheck to paycheck. Our main motivation is seeking success is that we want to have the best out of life. Do I make sense? But the big question is, how do we achieve all that? There are 3 common strategies for us to achieve financial success: employment, savings, and starting a business. Let's look at each of these more closely. Most of us start off our financial lives by relying on our monthly paycheck. Let's take a closer look at this. What we are seeing is the average monthly income and expenditures per household. These figures come from the National Statistics Office census results from 2010. Now, according to this study, the average Filipino household takes home about 14,416 pesos and 66 centavos. And as we can see, expenditures are grouped into the following: food, medical care, taxes, fuel, light and water, transportation and communication, and rent and miscellaneous. Now, at the end of 1 month, all the extra cash that we will be left with should, on the average, be amounting to 3,691 pesos. And take note, this does not include education for your children, maintenance for your home and your car, caring for your pets, maintaining yourself and your lifestyle, and things of that nature. Now, I bet you're thinking if that's enough for you to live. Trust me, I know it's not. Now, the Filipino, by nature, is industrious, And most of us would resort to one other mode for us to get more money and save up for the future. Yes, my friends, I'm talking about business. Now, there are 4 classifications of business in the Philippines: large enterprise, medium, small, and the nano micro enterprise, which we commonly know as mom and pop stores. Now, let's look at large scale enterprises. Some examples of homegrown enterprises are Jollibee, SM Prime Holdings, and Ayala Land. Often, these companies are household names with a big financial clout and national exposure. According to Republic Act No. 9178, large enterprises must employ at least 500 people, and putting up a large-scale enterprise requires money. Big money. You must have at least 100 million pesos to put up a related business, but let's be realistic. We wouldn't be here today if we had that kind of money. So, what other options are there? Oh, maybe we can choose to go for medium enterprise, and they're classified as having fewer than 250 employees, and more importantly, they must have at least 15 million pesos or more for capitalization. Again, we wouldn't be here today if we had that kind of money. We also have a third type of business, a small enterprise, which are those that would have fewer 50 employees, and the capitalization fee is considerably smaller than those in the past businesses that we've talked about, but it would still be a very substantial amount. Whether you get employed or you start a business, relying on our monthly income is not enough. So most of us would go a step further by apportioning a portion of our income and putting it in a bank. Based on a study conducted by the National Statistics Office, we can see that although the average annual family income has increased over the years, annual family savings has not. I blame it on inflation. The amount that we can allow ourselves to take from our paycheck and save around 10 years ago is less than the amount that we are able to take and save today. This is the reality that most of us will have to live with. Now, let's say that the little we are able to save, we decide to put in a bank. Now, say you are a faithful saver, and from your paycheck, you are able to take and save 24,000 pesos for a year. Now, the rates that we're going to show you today are the best rates that you can get at any bank. That's 0.5% per annum for a regular savings account, and 1.5% per annum for a time deposit account. Now, as you can see, for a regular savings account, your savings will only be earning an interest of 120 pesos. A time deposit account will earn a slightly larger amount, around 360 pesos. But let us not forget that time deposit accounts are subject to a 10% withholding tax. Now, do you think that all those figures will enable you to have the best out of life? Now that we've exhausted all our options, we at Accord Capital are here to present you with a more viable way for you to achieve financial success and that will enable you to have the best out of life. The stock market. Now, the most well-known fact about the stock market is that only rich people participate in it. But haven't you ever wondered why? According to the Philippine Stock Exchange, which is as of May of this year, there are only 498,838 people who invest in the stock market, which is less than 1% of the Philippine population. Now, the stock market is the most untapped and most unexplored and the most undiscovered source of finance. But most people stay away from it because there are quite a lot of misconceptions about the stock market. Most people think that the stock market is hard to understand and that it is only for those who know the industry very well. And also, most people think that in order to participate in the market, you have to be rich. Filthy rich. But did you know that for as low as 5,000 pesos, you can already start trading? Sounds too good to be true, does it? I'll tell you more about that later. And lastly, most people have the idea that the stock market is risky and that they may lose all their hard-earned money in the process. Like those people in the video earlier, are you one of those who have these concerns in mind? Now, I understand, these are all valid concerns, but we are here today to clear all the misconceptions that each of us may have about the stock market and break all the myths that surround it. Today, we will tell you what the stock market really is by telling you what it is not. Now, let me tell you what the stock market is not. The stock market is not a place, nor is it a structure. It is the actual representation of Philippine business and of the Philippine economy. Think of it as a sophisticated grocery. Now, we know that a grocery is a place where products are made available to and is accessible for the consumer. It is a place where products and people are given the opportunity to meet. In theory, the stock market has the same concept. It is a place where products, or in this case, stocks or shares, are made available to and is accessible for consumers, or in the case of the stock market, investors like you and me. Investors and companies are given the opportunity to meet in the stock market. The stock market is not gambling. Now, this is an often repeated myth that putting money in the stock market is synonymous to high-stakes gambling. Some say that there is a high risk for your money to disappear with the wrong purchase or with market fluctuations. This, like I said, is a myth. Gambling is relying on nothing but your gut feeling and on chance. Investing in the stock market is far from that. As we are given the right tools and training, we will see that investing in the stock market is very much like a scientific process, like the one that you've learned when you were in high school. Not many people are aware that trading has rules and regulations. It is not taking a risk. Rather, it is placing your trust in a stable company or companies, depending on your preference. Trading in the Philippine stock market involves forecasting, tracking, and trending. All movements are calculated so that all possible risks are minimized, if not eliminated. And the stock market is not a game, and trading is definitely not playing. It is a place where ordinary people like you and me can take part in the building of our nation's economy. Rich people engage in the stock market every day because they are keenly aware that there is a great deal of money to be made here. But the stock market is not exclusive to the rich. It is open to any Filipino who wants to participate. We can help you take your spendable income and make it work for you. Yes, you heard that right. We will make your money work for you. Just like all the millions of people who have made large amounts of money by taking part in the stock market. As a matter of fact, you can start with as low as 5,000 pesos, but we will discuss more on that later. The stock market is not difficult to comprehend. It is not confined to analysts and economists. There are tools available for us to better understand the market. It's not rocket science. There is adequate information available in all forms that will make us more aware of the movements in the economy. Like the seminar, for example. This and the following sessions in the PISO Jumpstart series is made for people who wish to learn more about investing in the Philippine stock market. There are also materials available on the internet. There are a lot of blogs to learn from, ranging from those authored by hardcore analysts to a layman's step-by-step guide of the industry. And aside from these, there are also learning programs headed by the guardians of the industry, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Philippine Stock Exchange. In fact, the Philippine Stock Exchange regularly conducts learning sessions every last Tuesday of the month, such as this one. These sessions are open to anyone who wishes to learn more about the stock market. You may check out their website, that's www.pse.com.ph, for more information. The most important thing that we have to keep in mind is that we can start learning. Even the most seasoned traders once started where you and I are today. Understanding the stock market is not an impossible task. Now that I've told you what the stock market is not, let me tell you what it really is. For most of us, the first thing that pops into our head when we talk about the market is the trading floor. A popular movie from the 1980s, Wall Street, made stock trading chic and fashionable. We immediately think of young men in suits screaming at each other from across the room or conversing in telephones. We feel the rush and the excitement of the trading floor, but we really don't know what it's all about. As I said, the stock market is not a building or a structure. It is a convergence of companies and traders. Similar to a grocery, companies put up their shares of stock for sale to individuals. In the Philippines, we have the Philippine Stock Exchange, and there are two trading floors. The Ortigas trading floor, located in the Tectite Towers in Pasig, and the Ayala trading floor, located at the Ayala Triangle in Makati. Although there are two locations, the Tektite and the Ayala trading floors are unified and move as one entity, and they are trading the same stocks of the same companies listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. Here we have a diagram of how a company lists its shares in the Philippine stock market. To put it simply, a company calls for an initial public offering and then asks the help of an underwriter to conduct the documenting and marketing work for them. Then they submit all those to the Securities and Exchange Commission, and if the company meets all of those requirements or all the requirements of the SEC, the PSE will call for an IPO announcement to let everyone know that the company's shares are now being put up for sale. With that, the company gets listed in the PSE, and investors can then buy or sell their shares. Now, stocks or shares represent the ownership of a company's assets and profits, very much like a torrents title in the case of land ownership. It is proof that you have a share in that company's success. And to put it simply, being a stockholder means that you are a part owner of that company. Stocks are like pieces of a puzzle. The more pieces that you have in your possession, the more you can complete the picture. In the same way, the more stocks that you own in a company, the bigger your ownership of that entity will be. And of course, the more that you invest, the higher your returns will be. Now, these are some examples of stocks which we call blue chips. You have San Miguel Corporation, Jollibee Foods Corporation, SM Investments Corporation, PLDT, Meralco, Petron, among others. These stocks are valued at a higher price than the rest simply because they are established and capable. Now, for first-timers in the market, investing in these companies is the best possible option. They have a reputation for making steady growth even in very tough times. They have the experience, know-how, and financial capability to bounce back. These companies have, throughout the years, become part of our lives. Wouldn't you want to be a part owner in these companies? Wouldn't you want to be able to take part in the successes of these established businesses? The stock market is the place to do just that. Remember, being a stockholder in these companies means that you are a part owner of them. This information is well and good, yes, but let's get to the meat of the matter, shall we? Let's talk about how we are going to make money through the stock market. Now, before we talk about the money, let's first have a diagram of the stock trading cycle. Now, to put it simply, the investor buys stocks of a given company through a stockbroker. Then the investor is entitled to receive a portion of the company's yearly earnings through cash or stock dividends. The investor may sell his shares at a desired price if he wants it. The investor can get the proceeds of the sold stock through his or her stockbroker of choice. And the investor can, after getting the proceeds of the sale, buy stocks from another company of his choice. Again, folks, as I said, stock trading is not rocket science. It's that easy. There are two ways for you to make money in the stock market. That is through price appreciation or through dividends. Now, price appreciation or capital gains is the money that you make through the difference between the price at which you bought that stock and its current market price. Now, say for example, you bought 250 shares in a particular company last June at 20 pesos per share from your initial investment of 5,000 pesos. Now, this June, let's say, the price went up to 23 pesos and 20 centavos per share. Therefore, in a year, you were able to gain a profit of 800 pesos. Now, we've based that computation on the assumption that the market isn't doing very well. Now, one of the lowest recorded increases per annum is at 16%. Now, what if the market is doing very well? Let's look at that same chart. Now, this time the computation was based on a market high. Now, as noted, the highest recorded increases per annum, one of the highest recorded, is about 33%. Now, this time, from your investment of 50,000 pesos, let's assume that you bought 2,500 shares last June at 20 pesos per share. This June, the price went up to 26 pesos and 60 centavos per share. Now, which means you were able, in a year, to gain a profit of 16,500 pesos. Does that sound good to you? So, let us compare the high and low rates of price appreciation and savings in the bank. Now again, let's say that we invest an equal amount of money, or about 5,000 pesos, for an equal amount of time. That's 3 years. Now in those 3 years, let's compare and see how our money would have grown. Now, as we've said in the previous slides, the high for a bank is at 1.5% increase per annum, which, if you have 5,000 pesos, would give you an interest of about 75 pesos. In the stock market, however, the high for price appreciation will give you an interest of 1,650 pesos. As you can see, the earnings pale in comparison. Now, the same can be said for the lows. Now, the low for a bank is at 0.5% increase per annum. With your 5,000 investment, it would be giving you an interest of around 25 pesos. Now, the low for price appreciation is at 16% increase per annum, which with your 5,000 peso investment will give you an interest of around 800 pesos. Again, whether it be high or low, the amounts pale in comparison. Now, this only shows that, indeed, the stock market has more potential to make money, as opposed to just depositing a portion of your income in a bank. Now, let's look at a real-life example on how to make money through price appreciation. On May 25th of this year, San Miguel Corporation declared a 52.48% growth. This means that their stock value appreciated by that much in about a year. Let's assume that we have 1,000 shares of San Miguel, and we bought these shares May 25th of last year. This would mean that we would have made an investment of 70,500 pesos. After San Miguel declared its 52.48% growth, their price per share grew to 107 pesos and 50 centavos, which means that your 1,000 shares are now worth 107,500 pesos. If we subtract your initial investment, this would give you an earning of 37,000 in 1 year. You would have gained more than one half of your initial investment in just a year. No bank would be able to give you this kind of earnings on your money. This happens only in the stock market. Hence the phrase, you made a killing in the stock market, because it is here where you can get that much money at that short a time. But as I've said in the earlier slides, stock market is not gambling only if we follow tried and tested rules. So we must always be careful whenever we make our stock trading decisions. Now let's take a closer look at dividends. Dividends are your share of the company's success as a part owner. It may come in the form of cash or in the form of stocks. Let's examine cash dividends first. Now, for example, you have 300 shares of stock in a particular company and they decided to release a cash dividend of 5 pesos per stock. So, just multiply 5 pesos to how many stocks you own, which is about 300 shares. That should give you earnings of around 1,500 pesos. If the dividend, meanwhile, released by the company is 40 pesos per share, you would have earned 12,000 pesos. For stock dividends, we talk more of percentages. Now, if a particular company releases 100% of stock dividends, for example, this means that your shares are doubled. Now, your 300 shares would then become 600 shares without you having to purchase any new shares. If that company releases 25% stock dividends, on the other hand, 1/4 of your shares will be added, which will turn your 300 into 375 shares in total. Now here we have a real-life example of how we can make money through dividends. Now, on May 5th of this year, Ginebra San Miguel Incorporated declared a cash dividend of 3 pesos and 75 centavos per share. Now, for example, we own 1,000 shares of Ginebra San Miguel. On that day, we would be able to earn 3,750 pesos without having to do anything. At times, some blue chip companies release dividends more than once a year, dependent on how well they earned in that particular period. Now, some would release dividends biannually or even quarterly. Again, it would be dependent on that particular company. Now, let's take San Miguel Corporation, for example. As you can see in the chart, from April 2009 to July of this year, they have released a total of 9 dividends, 7 of them in 2010 alone. Now, friends, please note that making money in the stock market is not confined to price appreciation or to dividends alone. You can make money in both ways, meaning, as the price of your stock appreciates, that particular company might also choose to release dividends. Now, again, let's take San Miguel Corporation, for example. Let's assume that on March 17th, 2009, you bought 1,500 shares of San Miguel Corporation at 37 pesos and 55 centavos per share, meaning you had an initial investment of around 56,325 pesos. Now, on August 12th of this year, SMC closed at 120 pesos and 90 centavos per share. Now, at that point, let's say you decide to sell your shares. Now, let's count the figures. Your average accumulated dividends from the time you bought it, which is March of 2009, until July of this year, that would be around 11,700 pesos. Now, the total amount that you will be able to sell will be around 181,350 pesos. Now, let's compute for the selling proceeds of your transaction. Now, by computing that, that's going to be the total amount of your investment minus your initial investment. You would have around 125,025 pesos. And remember your average accumulated dividends? Now, if we add them to the proceeds of your sale, so that's 11,700 pesos plus 125,025 pesos, you will then be receiving a total amount of 136,725 pesos once you reclaim your investments. Again, you made a killing in the stock market. It only happens in the stock market. Now, you might still be wondering why you should invest in the stock market. Now, we will be enumerating the reasons why we at Accord Capital think you should. First, it's easy to start. Investing in the stock market entails no great effort on your part. Number two, it's transparent. As opposed to putting your money in a bank, in the stock market, you are assured that your money will be put to good use as your investment will be used by the company as extra money or extra cash to further their business. Number three, fast liquidity of assets. Should you want to recover your proceeds of your investment, you can recover that in around 4 days. Or in the stock market, we have a concept that we call T+3, or trading day plus 3 working days. So let's assume that you were able to sell your shares on a Monday. Now, by Thursday, you should be able to recover your investment. Number 4, bragging rights. The money that you will be investing will be used by that company, as I've explained, to further their business. So, whatever profits that the company will be deriving will be your profits as well. Plus, doesn't it make you feel good that you own a part of, say, Pure Foods Corporation? Now, Pure Foods is a subsidiary of San Miguel Corporation. And if, for example, you own San Miguel shares, you can say that you're a part owner of Pure Foods. Now, isn't that better than just buying, let's say, Pure Foods Tender Juicy hot dogs or being a plain retailer of San Miguel products? Number 5, nation building. Now, when you invest in the Philippine stock market, you not only contribute to the improvement of the economy, but you will also be able to contribute to the general improvement of the country. Your investment can facilitate the growth of the company. It can facilitate capital raising by the government for various development projects and things of that nature. So your little money can go a very long way. I bet right now you're all wondering how you can be sure that your investments are safe and protected. Now, friends, we have regulatory institutions that will make sure that all your investments in the market are covered. First, we have the Philippine Stock Exchange, and contrary to what most people think, the PSE is not a government entity. It is a private, self-sustaining firm. The PSE is in charge of making sure that publicly listed companies are monitored well. They also look out for any irregularities in the stock market activities of those listed companies to make sure that no untoward incidents will happen. Also, each listed company is required to report their earnings on a regular basis, and the PSE makes sure that these companies are worth investing in so that you, the investor, would be safe. The PSE also has the authority to revoke the listing of a particular company if it has found to have been lagged behind the standards set by the exchange. And second, we have the Securities and Exchange Commission. It is through the SEC that companies are screened before being publicly listed, and they have to go through a stringent screening process, very much like quality control in a production line. There is another entity that plays a vital role in the trading process. That's the brokerage firm. Now, the brokerage firm is a non-negotiable part of the buying and selling of stocks. These companies are those that conduct transactions on behalf of the client. Simply put, brokerage firms serve as the link between you, the investor, to the Philippine Stock Exchange and to your company of choice. It is through brokerage firms that transactions are made and finalized. Some practices of a good brokerage firm are the following. First, they should provide their clients with an investment information service such as this seminar. Second, a good brokerage firm also needs to have a reliable network in the industry. These companies cannot be an effective link if it cannot sustain any connections. Third, a good brokerage firm must be in good terms with the Philippine Stock Exchange, among other institutions. And lastly, a good brokerage firm needs to have stable capitalization, which means that the firm should have the financial capability to keep your investments secure. Now, choosing the right firm is like choosing your life partner. You need to be thorough, you need to be practical, and most of all, you need to be wise. Make the right choice. Trade with a company that you can trust. Let me give you an overview of who we are. Again, we're from Accord Capital Equities Corporation, and we are a certified member of the Philippine Stock Exchange, and we've been doing business for the last 10 years. Around that time, we have gained a reputation for quality and excellence. According to the PSE, we are ranked 22nd out of 180 registered brokerage firms, and that information is as of July of this year. That assures you that we are committed to pursuing high standards in the way we do our business. Also, we are the first ever Filipino brokerage firm in SEC history to abide by the ruling which requires firms to have an unimpaired paid-up capital of 100 million pesos. Now, we went above and beyond that amount, and Accord Capital has an unimpaired paid-up capital of 125 million pesos. Now, that means that your investments are secure with us, and we have the capability to make sure that your investments are well protected. Here at Accord Capital, we have two services to offer. First, we have broker-assisted accounts where we have seasoned traders to help you buy and sell your shares on a regular basis. And we also have an online trading account where you can directly buy and sell your shares. Philstocks.ph is the online division of Accord Capital Equities Corporation. Established in 2006, it's part of an elite club of online trading participants. That's because not all brokerage firms in the Philippines have an online trading platform. In fact, out of 180 brokerage firms in the country, there are only 8 who offer an online trading service. And in 2009, we are ranked 4th out of those 8 platforms. We are continually innovating ways to give our clients the best trading experience possible. We have a direct connection to the Philippine Stock Exchange, which means that we have access to real-time data streaming straight from the source. This also means that your orders and purchases are executed in a timely manner. This year, we aim to redefine the online stock trading experience with the launch of our version 3. We call that Philstocks Live. Stock trading has never been this easy. We bring you a direct access to the Philippine Stock Exchange, real-time data streaming at your fingertips so that you know the latest market movements. Also, we bring you real-time order posting and real-time transactions, even during non-trading hours, with your postings ready for processing for the next trading day. Make any Wi-Fi enabled surrounding your trading floor. You can trade virtually anywhere. In a coffee shop, a hotel lobby, at the mall, at your school library, or while you wait for your children, or even in the comfort of your own home. Also, with Philstocks Live, you may trade through your smartphones and tablets. We at Philstocks.ph have taken into account your multitasking lifestyle. That's why we built our online console in such a way that you can use it while you're on the go. Our interface readily adapts to the latest gadgets. Trade stocks through your iPad, iPhone, or any internet-enabled gadget. It's that easy. We at Accord Capital and Philstocks.ph proudly introduce to you the industry's first ever one-screen do-it-all trading console, exclusive to Philstocks Live.
Introducing the industry's first ever one-screen do-it-all trading console, exclusive to Philstocks Live. It's so easy. To access your account, just type your username and password and click Login. This will take you to the members page where you can see a summary of the previous trading day. Simply enter trading floor to start trading. Choose the company you want to buy stocks from in our directory, where we have a complete listing of companies registered with the Philippine Stock Exchange. For example, you're looking for ABCXYZ Company. Their company symbol is AZC. Enter the symbol in the tab and click the search icon. Your chosen stock will now appear in the stock information page. All the information you need is at your fingertips. Here you can find real-time data, latest stock market news, and analytics all on one page. Don't forget, this crucial step will allow you to make the best trading decisions. Ready to purchase? Just click on the buy icon and you're on your way.
We have something special for you today. We call that the PISO plan. Make your money work for you. Now you can start trading, like I said, with an initial investment of as low as 5,000 pesos. Make money on your money. Now with the PISO plan, here are the 3 simple steps to opening a Philstocks account. Step 1, register at www.philstocks.ph. Step 2, complete the requirements and place your initial investment. Step 3, and once it gets activated, log into your account, start trading. It's that simple. It's that fast, and it's that easy. Ladies and gentlemen, we at the Corp Capital Equities Corporation would like to help you get the best out of life. With Philstocks Live, we want to be your partner in achieving that goal. Yes, we all want the best out of life. Let's work together and make it happen. We at the Corp Capital are at your service. Philstocks Live. It's time to trade. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy the rest of the day.